Dear guests, good afternoon. I am CAO Yongmei. I come from the Wang Group. I'm in charge of R&D, production, and channels. So I think that each one of us feels sleepy right after lunch. So I think that to enliven the spirit, I would like to read you something, a poem actually, that has impressed me a lot. And so this poem was written in the 1970s by a German American. The name of the poem is Youth. So I will read in Chinese. And I already communicated with the interpreter, so the interpreters are going to read in English. Youth is not a time of life. It is a state of mind. It is not a matter of rosy cheeks, red lips, and supple knees. It is a matter of will, a quality of the imagination, and the vigor of the emotions. It is the freshness of the deep springs of life. Youth means a temperamental predominance of courage over timidity, of the appetite for adventure over the love of ease. This often exists in a man of 60, more than a boy of 20. Nobody grows old merely by a number of years. We grow old by deserting our ideals. At this occasion, I share with you this poem for some reason. This morning we heard presentations by Nestle and Pepsi. And also we had speakers from Coca-Cola. These companies have a history of more than 100 years. Wang, my company, may not be familiar to some of you. And for those who know this company, in their mind that it has a history of only 20 to 30 years. Actually, last year we celebrated its 50th anniversary. So this company has already had half a century history. And you can see our logo. This is the parent company's logo and also the logo of our sub-brand Wangzai. From the market research, we have got some feedback about our logo. And they described our logo as sunshine, lively, happy. They have used these words to describe our logo. And actually, these words have reflected our corporate culture. It is how a man of 60 to remain the mindset of a 20. So I hope that we still can be the young people when we are in the age of 80. So when a company in the history of 100 years or 200 years can still maintain youth and vitality. Innovation is such a good theme, and innovation can bring about unlimited creativity. So today I want to talk about how research, development, and innovation create an unlimited future. That is to inject unlimited life and vitality into an organization. So this is a brief introduction to our group. And we have one line of product that is food. And for the past 2 days, we talk about cross-boundary concept And so we invested in agriculture business, catering business, and property development business. And One Group is actually the biggest media company based in Taiwan. So it has TV stations and also the newspapers. So I have a health line, and so we have hospitals in this business group. And so we have a presence in the health business. And yesterday we talked about the cross-boundary between health and food, and between pharmaceutical and food. And we do have presence in the pharmaceutical business. And so, for example, the mouse water and also some water cleaning for the hospitals. But the core business of our group is still the food and beverage. In this business group, or in this business unit, we have over 100 products, which generates over the 1 billion sales revenue. And our group business unit has been listed in Hong Kong. So this business line has become an independent public company. So in March every year, so I have to go to Hong Kong to communicate with the analysts and to report our new products to be launched to the market. So from my communication with Wall Street, I have found that I think that the consumers as well as the Wall Street have a higher expectation on innovation from the F&B industry. In the past, they were happy with 10 new product launches last year. Last year, we launched 48 new products. This year, we are going to launch 54 new products. So this means the high pressure on the innovation-related departments in the company. Pressure gives us the momentum, or the pressure drives our business. Sorry that the English slides are different from the Chinese slides, so I have to present to you the Chinese slides here. So sorry for the inconvenience. And so we have managed to cover a large number of categories in the F&B industry. We have introduced innovative packaging to our food. And some of the new products mentioned yesterday, actually, that we have introduced those products a few years ago. And with such a large portfolio, not all the products having very good performance in the market. So the packaging may introduce some new concepts for products in the market, and so is able to inject some new life into these products in the market. To talk about innovation, I have to talk about the evolution of the consumption in China. So, for example, in the first stage, Chinese people were happy with being fed, and now they started to seek high-quality food. And in the third stage, Chinese people are seeking the green consumption. So we can see the quick evolution of the consumption habits in China.
Consumer group at the same time also changed their behavior drastically. Before, Chinese consumers were very different, and sometimes we were surprised that a certain product was popular. What are the changes of consumer behavior in China? We've seen a lot of data and statistics on who are our main consumer groups. We studied people who were born between 1986 and 1995, and they have become a core consumer group of food and beverage products. They account for around 17% of the consumption, while people born after 1995 accounted for 23%, and people born before 1985 accounted for 60%, according to the study. Now, in 2020, the percentage for people born between 1986 and 1995 would account for 35% of the overall consumption. They are highly educated and they have higher demands or more sophisticated consumer demands. The consumer confidence index for this group of people is very different from other groups of consumers in different age brackets. Now, in terms of their income as well as their consumption intent, they score higher than the rest of consumer groups. When we analyze consumer groups, we look at attention points of consumers. They value food feedback, evaluation of products, product reputation, product quality. And before they make a purchase decision, they would look at reviews of the products and they value relevance. The world is becoming more and more flat and technology has changed our life. These group of young consumers have the resources and they're willing to pay a premium for good products, but they value the brand reputation very highly, and they are picky in their own ways. All products have their own positionings. For example, our core values is we want to bring happiness, dynamism, and sunshine to our consumers. And we have our brand stories. What is our brand personality, for example? What is our brand temperament? We are dedicated, we have dreams, we are diligent, we're confident, and we have high aspirations. These are all our parts of our brand personality. Now, for this core consumer group, they would make instinct purchases very often, and the overall volume of purchase is very high. The growth rate is also impressive. Every year, we would look at the November 11th campaign from Taobao, and the sales volume on that day grew rapidly from several billion to several dozens of billion yuan a day. We are optimistic about the growth of this consumer group. For example, a lot of people like to buy things on their smartphones or computers. I am an example. I stopped visiting physical stores. In the future, consumers are going to pay more attention to nutrition and health. As previous speakers have mentioned, that consumers are more interested in natural ingredients, healthy products that could help them to control their weight and be more healthy. We're seeing changes in modern eating behavior, and that is something that we need to pay attention to. People prefer to have products with fewer and fewer fat, sugar, calories, and allergens, and we want to put more probiotics and natural ingredients that are healthy and nutritious in these products. We would offer all natural and organic products with no preserves or artificial additives. Now, these trends sometimes can be quite challenging for consumers, and maybe people think that these trends can mislead consumers into following organic products blindly. But we can't really change consumers, and we have to answer to their needs and demands. That is something all food companies need to do. We have been very environmentally conscientious. For example, we constantly strive to reduce the weight of aluminum cans. For 1 month every year, we have a sales volume of around 20 billion. And if we can reduce the thickness of our steel cans, then it is going to drastically reduce our carbon footprint. We have developed, together with our partners, new steel materials to reduce the height and the thickness of the steel panels. We want to have very good printing, and we decided we have actually adopted new ways of printing, which is more costly, but the end result is more impressive, more colorful and more vivid. And we used recyclable packages, for example, Tetra Pak green packages. We are continuing to work with Tetra Pak to see how we could use sustainable or recyclable materials in the production of our packages. What's more, we are using water-soluble ink, and we've done a lot of independent research so that the ink we use is more environmentally friendly with much lower pollution. These are the efforts that we have made toward a greener planet, and I hope that all companies in the sector could join us so that we could have a greener and more environmentally friendly food sector. We have been promoting innovation in our management system. For example, we launched the PLM system. We also launched the SRM management system to manage our suppliers. We implemented SAP to manage our recipes, formulas, etc., so that we could have a traceability system for every single product. We also promote innovation in latest technologies. We provide our R&D team with a lot of support, and we would work with academia to translate research findings into applied technologies and products as well. Many speakers talked about product innovation, and I've learned a lot from these speeches. We believe that in our company, we have a number of keywords in terms of product innovation. The first is interaction with consumers, so that we could understand our consumers and our target users. And there are a number of highlights in terms of product innovation, for example, crossover innovation and green packaging, convenient design, lightweight, low price, more beautiful packages, etc. What's more important is that we need to offer guarantee for product innovation. For example, we have a good management system, a traceability system, as well as a QC system in place. And we have solid foundation for product innovation because we have a very strong R&D team at culture. Now, all these, I believe, are crucial for the success of a company in the food and beverage sector interested in innovation. And I think the most important thing is the quality of the products that we offer. I would like to share with you a sad story from last year. Last year, we launched too many products, 48 in fact, in total. And that was a big pressure on the R&D team and the production team in sourcing raw materials in order to be safer. We sourced many natural ingredients, but when we did lab tests, the results were not kept and was not done. The tests were not done thoroughly, and the product during its shelf life changed color. That has brought to a big blow. That has brought a big blow to the reputation of the brand as well as the R&D team, because consumers no longer trust us as our products changed its nature during its shelf life, and we spent tens of millions of yuan to recall all the products from the market. These products actually only change their color, but there's nothing wrong with the product. But we decided that the product was not satisfactory or perfect, and we had to recall them. For us, quality is the most important thing. For us, quality and food safety is the most important thing. You can say everything about how you use natural materials or ingredients, but that is not the fundamental thing for a company. You have to make sure that your product is safe. Last year, we launched a want ice cream that can be enjoyed in an innovative way. Traditional ice creams has to be stored in refrigerators. However, this room temperature ice cream has solved this problem of having to stay refrigerated. You could put it in the refrigerator and you take it out after 3 hours. It turns into solid ice cream. But if you just enjoy it at room temperature, it tastes like milkshake. It tastes equally good. The product was launched last year, and the first year we saw a revenue of around 400 million. This product turns out to be a huge success, and this is thanks to the joint effort of the R&D department as well as many other functions. In the future, I believe that we are continuing to cater to consumer needs and pain points, and we would address our challenges in the supply chain so that we could bring better and more interesting products to the consumers. I understand that you might feel sleepy in the afternoon session, but that concludes our company's philosophies and some of our products introduction. In closing, I would like to cite a poem, as my concluding remarks. This is called a prophet. It says, "Life is dark unless we have hope, but hope is blind unless we have knowledge. All knowledge is futile unless we have work. All work is empty unless we have love. When you work with love, you are combined. You are one with other people and God. So how can you work with love? You use the thread from your love to make it into a garment, and you use your love to make a house, as if your lover is going to wear the garment and live in the house. You would treat your farm as if your lover is going to enjoy fruit from the farm. I believe that as a producer of food and beverage, we also need to make our products with love. I sincerely hope that our love accompanies our products, and consumers will feel pleasure and happiness while they enjoy our products. And I believe that that is something that we all aspire for. Thank you.